This is Snack Size Marketing, where social media gets big results in small packages.
Hey guys, this is Tanya Smith of Tanya Smith Online and our brand new podcast, Snack Size Marketing at snacksizmarketing.com. This week's episode of Snack Size Marketing is focused on the 5 time-tested formats for micro-content success. So last week we covered foundations. This is going to then be a logical continuation of that discussion because we're continuing to position you for success using micro-content, kind of building from the ground and moving up. Now, I also call this micro-content thing snack size content because these are short, bite-sized forms of media that are optimized for sharing on social media. Now, before we go further, I have to say something, and that is thank you, thank you, thank you. You have sent so many tremendously positive comments about the show so far, and it's greatly encouraging. I just can't wait to bring more your way, whether you're sending stuff to me and I'm sharing things with you on Facebook, or if you're leaving comments for me in the inbox. I'm just having a great time with this. This is so much fun. But let me go ahead and get into the meat of things because I promise to keep each of these snack size tips at least under 10 minutes, okay? So, the 5 time-tested formats that we're going to be talking about this week are covered in a simple chart that you'll find on my website at snacksizmarketing.com in the show notes for this episode. But you can also view it this week on Facebook because I have it pinned to the very top of the Facebook page at facebook.com/snacksizmarketing. All right. So today we're going to talk about time-tested format number 1, which is, drumroll please, text. Now, this may be the simplest and probably the format that you're most used to. Text can come in a whole lot of forms. Now, what I'm talking about when I say text is pure letters, numbers, and symbols without any other media such as sound or visual imagery, pictures and that type of thing attached to it. Now, keep in mind that micro content is short form copy. So depending on the platform you're on, that's going to determine how long your text actually is. It might be, for instance, only 140 characters on Twitter, but if you're leaving a snack size post on Facebook or on Google+, you probably are sharing something that's a little bit more akin to a miniature blog post. When I think of examples of good miniature posts, I'm thinking of people like Rebecca Clark over at Nudge Village on Facebook, or Mike Vardy over on Google+, Ronnie Bencher on Google+ as well. And I'm saying B as in boy, INCER. If you look any of those guys up, you'll find that they have posts that typically are going to give a little bit more context. And in some cases, they're going to be, like I said, almost like miniature blog posts, giving you just enough so that you can be interested and learn, but also enough as of a teaser for you to click the link and to get more. So let's talk about types of text. You can do a lot with text really that just won't happen using images alone. So for instance, your snack size text post could incorporate things like questions or thought-provoking quotes. It might be fill in the blanks, contest generators, promotional bites, trivia, or even something like statistics. I could go on, or you can get some really cool ideas or on tools such as Post Planner. Now, Post Planner is a tool that you can use on Facebook, and recently they added Twitter to be able to pre-schedule posts for Twitter. So they integrate primarily with Facebook, and basically what you do is you go to Post Planner. They have lots of ready-to-go ideas for viral photos or status updates and even articles or links that are shared somewhere else for you to curate, which we'll talk about at a future episode. But you can curate and share other people's content on your own social profiles. And you're doing this in such a way that it's basically allowing you to have a continuous stream of content flowing, right? with your perspective, with your spin on it, with your personality still built in, but you're continuing to have a flow of content so that you're constantly marketing and promoting and staying engaged with your audience. So I highly recommend that you check out a tool like Post Planner, especially with the recent changes to the platform. To me now, it's much easier to navigate and see things in the calendar view than when they had it before, more integrated directly inside of Facebook. Now it's on its own. And I think the website is love.postplanner.com or something like that. But check that out. Now, example of a fill in the blank that got me about 35 likes within just a few hours was click like if you're old enough to remember what yellow pages look like and what they were for. And so that generated, some virtual ribbing in the elbow with the elbow, as well as a lot of various comments and people just kind of liking it because it was a nostalgic type of thing. But there's lots and lots of other examples like that can generate engagement and conversation and discussion. And that's what you want when it comes to social. That's what snack size content really has its best position to do for you. A lot better than some of the longer form content. Now, text can be an excellent conversation starter. It can be a clear call to action. It could be a thought stirrer. Just remember what we talked about, though, in the Foundation series last week, and that is you have to be careful to be concise and to stay focused on a single point. I find myself doing a brain dump first, and then I'll often have to go back and strike out sentences and words in order to snack size my post. So if you find yourself going off track, you can always think about putting it down for an hour or so and then come back later. Now, let me address a quick question from the snack-size-marketing.com inbox. There is on the right side of the page on that website, there is a form or a tab that you'll see where there's a featured question form where you can actually leave a voicemail with your question about snack size content. So unfortunately, in this case, the person did not leave a name or email, so I can't say who wrote this question, but I can share it with you and answer it for you right now. The question was, should tweets be written like headlines? My answer is, some of the time. Okay. And what I mean is that it can vary depending on the point that you're trying to make. So for instance, Copyblogger, which of course I'm a huge fan of since I'm one of their certified content marketers, but Copyblogger has some great headline swipes. If you go out to Google and you type in Copyblogger headline swipe file, then you'll be able to find at least a couple of articles with some great ideas for headline swipes. But one of them is something like this. Give me 3 minutes and I'll make you a better blogger. Now, if I were to see that in a tweet or in some type of social post with a link at the end, I'd probably check that because that's something I would be interested in is, you can actually make me a better blogger in 3 minutes. I've got to see this, right? But there might be times where you're sharing a quote or you might be sharing some type of statistic or something else. And if you're sharing a different type of format, or you're giving information on a particular webinar or something like that, you have to determine whether or not a headline format really works or if it's a more direct type of format that makes more sense. So I hope that gives you some insight there and answers the question. So sometimes, and probably in a lot of cases, the headline style can work for tweets, but there are going to be instances where you really want to determine based on your objective for that post, for that snack size content, based on your objective and what you're trying to accomplish, you may or may not use a headline style. So again, definitely go out to Google and Google up some headline swipe files and see if you can get some examples of various headline formats that might work for you, and use some of those definitely in some of your snack size content, because I think in a lot of cases it can be very effective. All right, so that's it for today's episode. Tomorrow we're going to focus on images as a time-tested format for micro-content success. I hope you enjoyed today and that you will leave me a comment or two, and that you'll leave me a like, and that you'll also go over to iTunes, because we're now on iTunes. And you can go there at j.mp, like jump, / Snack Size on iTunes in order to get to the iTunes page, and leave us a 5-star rating, because we want to be on that new and noteworthy list that they've got. Okay. All right. Also, I'll finally leave you with this too, just that reminder that if you have questions, you can definitely leave those on the page. Just go to snacksizemarketing.com and click on that side tab on the right and leave me your questions so I can answer them and feature you in an upcoming episode. I am so enjoying this, and I hope you are too, and that you're learning something from it and finding it useful. Again, this is Tanya Smith with Snack Size Marketing and Tanya Smith Online. Keep it snack size, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.
Please like us on Facebook.